Burning in your studio monitors. What does that mean if you're not familiar with the term? Is it something that you should be doing? Does it depend on what type of speakers you have or what scenarios you're in? And if you do choose to do it, how do you do it exactly? All of these questions are things that we're going to cover in this video, so stay tuned and let's get started. So what exactly is burning in? It's also known as running in or breaking in. And it's just the simple concept that when you get a fresh loudspeaker from the factory, that it requires a period of running it before its performance is optimal, and that the sound changes over time, and that by running the speaker, playing music through it, you're going to get it into a stabilized or optimal sound. Now, I am always reviewing and testing studio monitors, so this is quite relevant for me, and I wanted to dig a little deeper into this. Right now I'm in the midst of testing the Neumann KH420s and the Focal Trio 11Bs, so I've been looking into this, and it's quite interesting because you have some people saying one thing and other people saying another thing. So yeah, let's peel back the onion a little bit, dig back into where this came from, what's involved, and figure out if it's relevant for you. Let's start by breaking down the components of a speaker that may potentially change over time. So we've got first your electronics. That would include things like amplifiers, crossovers, and things like that. DSP that might be on board on the monitor. And that stuff doesn't change. It heats up, cools down, but the manufacturing standards that we have in the current day and age, these things are not changing the sound of the speaker. If they are, it means that there's been a manufacturing flaw, a badly chosen part. It just doesn't happen commonly in professional monitors. And if it does, it means there's a defect. The next we have is cabinets. Again, our modern manufacturing standards and professional quality studio monitors, the cabinets are very well constructed. If the cabinet mechanics are changing over time, that also means it's a manufacturing defect or a bad design. It doesn't commonly happen. So it's the moving parts of the speaker, it's the drivers. And the driver will have a surround and a suspension, and then a moving mass. So if the moving mass is changing, it means something's being added to it or taken away. It's falling apart, and that also just doesn't happen commonly, right? So the parts of the speaker that could potentially change are the surround and the suspension. And the concept with burning in is that they will change in their flexibility a little bit throughout the burning in process, and that they're stiff at the beginning, and you want those to be able to adapt and break in. So Focal, I looked up what they recommend for their monitors, and for the Trio 11Bs, they recommend a running in period. They say to run them for a minimum of 20 hours, and they say that that is required to adapt the surround to your temperature, humidity, and to break it in. That's what Focal says. But Neumann, that makes the KH420s, says their speakers require no running in period at all and just use them straight out of the box. So who's right? Neumann has actually done research on this. They have decades of experience servicing audio products that have been in long-term use. And what they've observed and noted is that there isn't more than a 0.5 dB change from specification, even with long-term use. So that isn't significant. There is a minuscule change, if any, in the actual sound reproduction of the speaker after longer run times. So why is it that some people still recommend burning in, and some people even attest to the fact that they believe speakers change in sound over time? So that comes down to psychoacoustics. And it's interesting to note the actual auditory memory of human beings is very, very short, 5 seconds or less. So when you're burning in a speaker, you listen to it, and then you go through this extensive running in period of 20 hours or a week or more, and then you listen to it again. So the people out there that are saying, oh, I heard a change in the sound. Of course they heard a change in the sound. It's been longer than 5 seconds. It way exceeds their auditory memory. So in actual tests in the academic community, when they're A/B/X testing speakers, they have them all set up simultaneously in their different states, and they switch between them within that 5-second auditory memory. That's how you can actually make an objective determination of if something's changed in sound. So anybody out there who's saying, hey, I got these monitors, they sounded one way, I burned them in, they sounded another, you're just getting an opinion. That's not a fact, and it's not based on science. Cool. So Now that we're armed with the knowledge, let's circle back to whether burning in your monitors is necessary. I'm kind of with Neumann on this. They make a really compelling case for this being an outdated practice and for it being unnecessary. But let's say you want to err on the side of caution and you think, hey, why not? I've got the time. I don't need to use these right out of the box, and let's do it. How do you do it? So what the recommendation is, and you'll hear different details from different people, but the basic process is you want to start by playing low volume music that doesn't have a lot of bass in it at the beginning. And then you want to gradually increase the volume over time. This could be a minimum, I would say, 20-hour period. A lot of people recommend 60. Some people say that they've even heard changes after several hundreds of hours of use. And you want to switch up the styles and genres of music as you're gradually increasing the volume. So you're just kind of giving the speakers a workout. You're letting them chew through different types of material. And if you are one of those people that just wants to err on the side of caution, whether or not it seems like it's a prudent practice, you just want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and you want to burn your monitors in, that's how you do it. Great. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this video useful and informative. Please drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this video, if you have any other questions about this topic or anything else related to music production. If you're not already, please subscribe and enable notifications so you can stay in touch with us about all of our future updates. And if you liked this video, please smash that like button. Helps us to get a bit more love in the YouTube universe. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.